So I'm still on the main road, so walking straight up from the entry, so maybe my pace of walking gives you an idea of how long it is. And here is there used to be a train track, so there must have been at some stage trains coming through there. Just looking over to the construction site, you can see the dust flying up. Beijing, but it is pretty windy. So there's always a lot of Beijing is a dry, dirty, dusty city, so it's permanently like that. There's a lot of remnants of the industrial era to the left. This looks like it's being, I don't know, pulled down. Something's going on here. It's hard to tell really, but yeah, it looks like it's being demolished, exactly. So something will either be rebuilt there, I guess. It's interesting to note this very wide train track going through. It does give me ideas about ways of accessing, like how it goes through, how we can actually circumnavigate the site in some way. I'll have to check on Google Earth and see if I can actually find the train track and its path. But this is basically the extent. Whoops, does that give you an idea? The extent of 798 in the most southern direction, I think it is. And from here on in is what's known as D Park, which is a sort of a fashion factory gallery kind of zone, which I really have never really been into, to be honest. Just out of interest's sake, I'm not sure if this little roped off bit is meant to be for pedestrians or to keep you back from the side of this construction zone. I'd say this is meant to be a little pedestrian path, but that's kind of also quite common, just to peg out something temporarily. But of course it only goes this short distance, it doesn't go through the site. I'm looking back down to the main entrance, so all the way up to the north of the site now, just to give you a bit more of the traffic conflict. You can see a huge truck that's about to go down that main street. But as I mentioned before about the bicycle culture and how people still move like bicycles, people seem remarkably good at evading cars and traffic and managing to keep out of bumps. Now the pity here, I've just walked back down to near the 798 factory. Now the pity about this street, because it's quite wide and could manage quite a bit of traffic, but when you move around to the other side of the street, it's very narrow, and down this street you have At Cafe, which is probably the longest standing. Just back into me, that's fine. Go right ahead. Yeah, and a car behind it. I couldn't have picked better traffic to emphasise my point. It's quite remarkable. Yeah, here we have Thinking Hands. Here we are, Thinking Hands, and on the right, the lovely At Cafe, which is just gorgeous. That's owned by Huang Rui, and he was the kind of founding artist, founding father of 798 in many ways. He got an art festival up and running, and he got a group together, I guess, to try and raise the profile of the district and the importance of it. And so, although this street is very narrow, I would never consider remotely trying to do anything with it, because this is kind of like the walk of fame, I guess. It certainly is, and he's a great guy. So unfortunately, that very wide road on the other side doesn't allow kind of through traffic, which would be ideal. I'm going to go back onto the main street. I hope this is kind of making sense. And I'm going to walk back down the main street and take you to an area that has been formed into a kind of village square, to give you an indication of the opportunities. You can see outside that there's quite some lovely sitting places. And actually, I might just download this memory card, so I've got more space now. But I'll just tell you that when I first came here in 2003, it was incredibly difficult to even find 798, and there was nothing like this around then. It really was a very run-down industrial zone. Certainly no paving, no outdoor cafes, anything like that. And it's changed dramatically over the years, particularly prior to the Olympics. For continuity's sake, I'm just left the little cafe, and they want everybody to be quiet for this filming. Well, I think everybody should be quiet for my filming, quite frankly. Not particularly interested one way or the other, but this guy is so keen to stop me. Never mind. So we're walking back down the main road. So I'm going to head back down about halfway down the road and take you to this village square kind of area. There's noise and sensory sounds. Just take a listen to this guy on the phone. Oh damn, he just hung up. So there's constant noise, really. Of course, when the cars, get closer to the pedestrians, there's lots of honkings of horns. But yeah, there's a lot of background industrial noise combined with people talking and shouting. Although it seems a bit quiet now. That's always my luck. Okay.